Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode here at the Portcast. Today, we have a very special guest with us today, and she's going to talk about her organization and the service that she offered to the community. How you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you very much.
Do you mind introducing yourself to everyone?
Sure, absolutely. First, I'd like to thank you, Gernard, for inviting me onto your podcast. I'm really happy to be here because I am from the port. Once again, my name is Vanita Lambert. I am from the Bridgeport area. I was brought up here on the east side of Bridgeport.
Okay.
And I work for a company called Flagship Financial Partners. I am a independent insurance agent for Medicare and life insurance. So I help folks navigate all the moving parts of Medicare and explain all the different types of life insurance as well.
Okay. And what other areas do you guys specialize in?
Oh, there are so many. So we specialize in Medicare, long-term care, final expense planning, which is life insurance, retirement income, short-term care, tax-free retirement, Social Security, home and auto insurance, and we try to cover the full circle of your insurance needs because we're in the people's business, and so we try to help everybody in every aspect of life. We also even offer wills because a lot of people don't have wills and don't understand why they should.
Okay. And so you guys also help those people who are of age and are now available to sign up for Medicare.
Yes, absolutely. So basically what I do is I sit down with 10 to 15 families per week and customize plans for them on what their needs happen to be. So we go over the 4 areas that will affect their lives the most, which, is the health care, long-term care, life insurance, and retirement income. But we specialize in one area at a time. We talk about one area at a time because it's overwhelming to do all 4. So Medicare is the category where there is just so much misinformation out there. It's really important to get it right because selecting the wrong plan can be detrimental. I mean, it's just as bad as not having a plan at all. So the way I do that is I customize a plan for each individual person. I mean, I could be sitting down with a husband and wife and they may have 2 separate plans, 2 completely different plans because they're 2 completely different people. And the way I do that is I just ask them questions. Any overnight stays in a hospital within the last 3 years? Are you seeing any specialists? Are you taking any medications? What's more important to you, doctor or service, and things like that. And their answers to my questions tell me what they need. And being an independent broker, meaning that I'm contracted with different insurance companies such as United Healthcare, Anthem, Aetna. I don't have to try to squeeze them into an Aetna plan. I make the plan fit their needs. And I start that by the medications. That's the most important, most expensive part and the most important part. So if I can find a plan with all their medications, then that's the plan for them. Because the other parts of the plans, like all the Medicare Advantage plans, they all get a free gym membership. They all have some vision, some dental, and some hearing. But once you conquer the expense of medications, that's the plan for you. So.
And who's eligible for Medicare?
Okay, good question. In order to be eligible for Medicare, you have to work any combination of 40 quarters and pay into the Medicare taxes. When you turn 65, you're eligible. Okay, or if you're disabled for 24 months, you qualify for Medicare, and that's Medicare Part A and B, and I'll go over those parts. Or if you have end-stage renal disease, a kidney disease, then you qualify for Medicare as well. And original Medicare is Medicare Part A, which covers the inpatient hospital portion. And then there's Medicare Part B, which covers the doctor visits. It actually covers outpatient, 80% of all your outpatient, and then you're responsible to pay 20% out of pocket. And so you have 2 ways to cover that 20%. You can go the traditional Medicare route, or you can go the Medicare Advantage Part C route. And I know there's been like 100 million commercials about that, but like I said, the plan would depend on your answers to my questions, and that's how I would decide which plan is best for you.
Okay. And what's the difference between Part A and Part B? A lot of people are confused by that.
Yeah, Part A is you're entitled. Part A is an entitlement. So like I said before, if you work 10 years or 40 quarters, any combination of 40 quarters, and you're not a 1099 or have your own business, and you pay the Medicare taxes just like you pay your federal taxes, and just like you pay Social Security and your pay stub, then you are entitled to Medicare Part A. It's an entitlement. There's no monthly cost for that, and that Medicare Part A only covers inpatient hospital. That's it. It doesn't cover anything else, in terms of outpatient. It does cover like hospice because that's inpatient hospital. So it covers inpatient hospital services. And then Medicare Part B is your outpatient, doctor visits, tests, medical supplies, things like that. Like when you go for your physicals, or, if you go and have outpatient surgery, like if you have rotator cuff surgery, you go in the morning and you come home in the evening, that's Medicare Part B. So that's what B covers, the outpatient. And it only covers 80% of that, and there is a monthly cost to Medicare Part B. Right now, that cost is for 2023, it's $164.90 per month. However, if you qualify for the Medicare Savings Program, or if you're on Medicaid, then you don't have to pay that because the state of Connecticut will pay it for you. Now, let me explain the difference between the Medicaid and the Medicare Savings Program. This is the biggest misinformation out there and it's confusing. The state of Connecticut makes it confusing because everything comes on the exact same gray card. So Medicaid means that you cannot have more than $2,000 in assets. Okay, and you probably get money from the state of Connecticut. You probably get food stamps, and they'll pay for your Medicare Part B, and they'll pay for all your deductibles and all of your copays as long as your doctor is in the network. That's what Medicaid is. Now, the Medicare Savings Program is so much more than that. The Medicare Savings Program is based only on your gross monthly income. You're allowed to have assets. You're allowed to have a house, a 401k, a boat, or whatever, any assets you want. As long as, if you're an individual for this year, 2023 up until March, if your gross monthly income is under $2,390 per month, then you qualify for the Medicare Savings Program, regardless of how much money you have in the bank, or if you have a $500,000 401k or whatever. And that is why I sit down with people and explain this. And that, that's my passion. I love clarifying the difference between the Medicaid and the Medicare Savings Program. And I am happy to say that right here in this state of Connecticut, I have saved so many people so much money. I love my job. It's like not even a job to me because I love what I do. It's a passion. It really is. Saving people money. You would have thought I saved it.
All right. Thank you for giving us a better understanding of Medicare Part A and Part B. Because like I said, I've talked to a lot of people and they are just so confused and they don't know which one to apply for. So
call me,
yeah.
203-687-2778, or text me.
And okay, I know another thing that you do also is retirement income. Is that preparing people how to budget their finance when they retire, or how to put themselves in a financial situation to be able to retire comfortably?
It's both, okay? And it all depends on your age too. If you're starting a new job and you're 30 years old, you could start most jobs, like say for example, if you work for a large company, they have like a 401k plan set up for you. And most times they'll make a 5% match or 2% match or just whatever. So if you're young and you're just starting out working, then you want to build and match whatever the company's giving you, but not overfunded. So say for example, you're getting a 5% match from your company. You want to match 5%. Never put more than 5% because what you're doing is creating additional taxable income. So when you fast forward to 65, you're going to have to pay more taxes on. And another scenario we could look at, if you are retiring today and you're 65 years old, you're going to get your Medicare and you have your 401k and things like that in place, then that's the time you want to talk about saving and reserving and protecting your principal income, your principal 401k, because you don't want to take a risk and lose any of it, because when you're in the market could go up or it could go down. And you also want to look at other things like how to increase that without losing any principal, because when you turn age 73, they have this thing called RMDs on all 401ks, 403bs, 457s, except for Roth 401ks. You will have to begin to pay your taxes because all that money is pre-taxed. So up front, Uncle Sam's willing to let you go with all the taxes until you turn 73. Once you turn 73, he's going to start making you take out 4.2%, and every year that number grows up to 10% out of your 401k, whether it's a good year or a bad year. Okay, and that's how people run out of money. When they get to their mid-80s, if they don't prepare and plan to increase and grow that 401k, they could run out of money. It has happened to a lot of people. You will see, little older people going back to work, some because they're bored and some because they're broke and they ran out of money and they did not understand how to protect their investment. So that's one of the things that we do. It's very complicated to get your head wrapped around it just by me talking about it. So I will drive anywhere in Connecticut, sit at your kitchen table, and go over this information with you for absolutely no cost to you. And the reason I do that is because I have seen so many people lose what they've worked for, their 401k, because they did not understand RMDs. And RMDs are required minimum distributions, meaning that Uncle Sam wants his tax money now. And if you think about it, 401ks and 403bs is almost like a tax trap if you're not getting a match, if you're overfunding it. So let's go back. Say you're 25 years old, just started your job, and you're putting in $200 or $100 a week into your 401k, absolutely tax-free. So you're saving whatever the taxes is on $100. Let's just call it $6, $5, or whatever, okay? And that's fine. Let's fast forward to 65. Let's say you save up $750,000, okay? Now what's happening, you're in a much higher tax bracket. Instead of that $6 that you save, out of that $750,000, you're in like a 37-40% tax bracket. So you're actually paying back more money than you saved in the long run. And so for younger folks that are looking to retire, I have plans set up for them. They're called tax-free retirements. It is a tax-free retirement, and every single penny that you put into it, you take out 100% tax-free. 100% tax-free. And I know that's hard to get your head wrapped around, but it's true. Insurance is at the forefront of innovation. And so they've mastered how to use your money, make more money than they're going to pay you back. I mean, let's face it, insurance companies have the most money, but you will be so happy with the fact that every single penny you put into a tax-free retirement, which has a living benefit and also has a death benefit. It is called life insurance. It's called universal life insurance. You have to medically qualify for it. The best time to get it is when you're young and you have no issues. Because once you qualify for it, they cannot take it away. That money is invested in funds like the S&P 500, where once you gain that money, you cannot lose it. You get an annual statement every year to tell you exactly how much you got. You get a statement that, gives you an opportunity where you could dump money in when you get your income tax. If you have an extra $1,000 you want to throw in there, you could do something like that. And like I said, every single penny you put into it is 100% tax-free, and you could put up to 7 times your net worth. So if you're worth $1 million, you can put up to $7 million away. It's incredible, and it's hard to phantom. And I illustrate this for people. I put your age, your date of birth in it, and I illustrate it from age whatever you are now to age 120. It's in black and white. It's in a contract with a company that's been in business 130 years, and it's really phenomenal. As you can see, I'm getting overly excited. I'm starting to move around a little bit because I love it. And I came from the village in Bridgeport, and so this gives me the opportunity to help people generate a financial legacy that we would never get. I didn't get anything from my father. What I have, I worked for. And so just because you're not going to inherit $1 million does not mean that you cannot be financially set when you're ready for retirement. And I love that aspect of it.
Okay, so we talked about some of the service that you guys provide for the living, to benefit those who are living. Let's talk a little bit more about the things that's going to benefit us when we're dead. Well, not us, but our loved ones, which is life insurance.
Oh, life insurance. Oh, yes. So in Connecticut alone, there's about 40% of people that have absolutely no insurance whatsoever. And if you pass and you have no insurance, you're going to leave a burden to someone. The reasons you have life insurance, or the reasons I think every single person should have life insurance, is for your family. It's for your loved ones. It's for, especially us, our culture. You want to leave. So let's say, for example, husband and wife living in a home, okay? And the mortgage is $1,000, both of them, and utilities or whatever. Both parents work now. There's no such thing as one stays home. Both parents work to pay the bills. And let's say all of a sudden one person dies. If you don't protect your family with life insurance, that mom or that dad is going to have to downsize because they can't afford the house. They're going to have to move into an apartment. The kids might not be able to go to college or what have you. So the benefits of having life insurance is family protection. It's protection for your family. It's protection for your church or whatever charity you want to leave it for, but especially for the family. And it ensures that you will have proper burial. I mean, we don't want to just leave burial behind because we want the next generation to be better than what we are. We always strive for that. But it's just imperative to have life insurance. I could sit down with you. I could help you budget. I help people with budgets, I cut out my cable and I have an app. I saved $100. There are so many ways that you could do it. If your children are running around with $200 sneakers and you don't have any life insurance, believe me, it's time to reevaluate your priorities. It really is. It's just imperative that everyone has it. I can't say enough about that.
So there's a misconception that life insurance is really expensive. What is like the range of at least a affordable insurance in terms of at least have burial insurance? How much would that cost?
Okay, so life insurance is based on your age, your gender, and your health. Okay, so the average person, and then there's different types of life insurance. You could get term life insurance, which is very inexpensive. If you're single or if you're going through a tough time right now or just whatever your situation is, you can get a life insurance policy for $25 a month. The average person, I don't know, between 18 and maybe 30, if you wanted to, just to hold you over. And then you could get the term life insurance with a company that, let's fast forward 10 years down the road, you're doing much better. You can convert that term policy into a whole life insurance policy or universal policy, so the money that you spent in the term won't be completely lost. But there is something out there for everyone, and it depends on your age. If you wait until you're 65, 70, it's going to cost a lot more than when you're 25 or 30. And that's pretty much the bottom line. Women are a little bit cheaper than men because they like to take more risks than we do. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. But it's still so affordable. Really is.
So it's clear that you're very knowledgeable about what it is that you do, and you are extremely passionate about what you do. So obviously it's not about a compensation for you. So why is it that you have so much passion for this?
Oh my goodness, that's another excellent question. When I first started in this business, it was just because, I got laid off from my job. They moved to, I don't know, the Midwest or whatever. And I needed an income. I was making $62,000 at that time. I think it was like 2010. And I wanted to replace my income and I didn't complete my education. So education is key. And no other job would pay me what I was making because I was there 22 years. So in order to get the money that I was used to, I went into a business that it's 100% commission. And so when I first started in this business, it was just all about the money. And then about 2 years into the business, I started really feeling very passionate about it because people were hugging me, and kissing me before COVID and thanking me so much for helping them. It became more of a passion. Then I had flashbacks from where I grew up at in the village. We were in the shadows. We didn't have any information. And if you don't have the information, you cannot take advantage of the benefits. That's why we were so far behind the curve. We never got the information. So I'm passionate about giving the information. That's why I said I'll drive anywhere in Connecticut. I'm licensed in Connecticut, Maryland, and North Carolina. I'm not driving to North Carolina until I take a trip, but I will come anywhere and I will share this information with you because I personally want to see you protect yourself, protect your family, and protect your nest egg. It just means the world to me.
All right, and how can people get in touch with you? Once again, can you give them your information?
Okay, so there's several ways you can get in touch with me. The easiest way is my cell phone. It's 203-687-2778. Or you could email me. You could call or text me on that number, or you could email me at V as in Victory Lambert, just like my last name, 2778 at yahoo.com. And that's it.
All right, and before we end this interview, can you also let everyone know where they can find you at on TV and on radio?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Thank you. Okay, so yes, I am on Access TV. It's called the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show. It's a 28-minute reality talk show that I do every Friday, and they air it throughout the week. And I'm also on YouTube. I would love it if you would follow and subscribe and share. I always have some really interesting guests on, and sometimes I go solo. And I also do a radio show, which is called Radio 1400.am. It is on demand, it's on smart speakers, on flip phone, and you can find me there. That show airs. It's called the Medicare and Retirement Planning Show. It airs on Tuesdays at 2:15. I'm sorry, at 2 o'clock to 2:15. I do just 15 minutes. And I do that show, again, because I'm passionate about reaching as many people as I can and getting the information out there. And if it reaches you, give me a holler, give me a call.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Lambert, for coming on our show, taking time out your busy schedule to be with us today and giving us vast amount of information regarding Medicare, insurance, and other things. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.